Try to make some history on Sunday. So I had that almost right.
Almost.
The Kings are going to try to make history on Sunday.
Yes.
So I've got a list here of teams in the 13th spot that have moved up to win the lottery. I have that list right in front of me. Are you ready?
Yep.
Starting the year the draft began.
In 84?
I think so. That was the Patrick Ewing year, right? Frozen envelope. All right. So 1, 2, 3, weirdly enough, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually none ever.
Nobody's ever moved up from 13. The odds aren't very good, Dave.
They're not.
1%, or it's like 0.9 or whatever to get the 1 seed or the 1. They can move into the top 4, but the odds are low. They actually have better odds to move back 1, meaning the Warriors, who lost the coin flip, who went to 14, have that's a better chance of them moving into the top 4 than the Kings overall, which is bizarre. Yeah, there you go.
1%. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to get 13th, their odds are 92.88%.
What are my chances?
Not good.
Okay. But?
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
That's all I hear.
That's all I hear.
That's all I hear from you.
Because we know as the Kings, when they had the best chance to be the 1, they finished 4th.
That's right.
In the lottery.
That's right. They did.
Now they have a terrible chance.
So, of course. And by the way, Jason,
Mm-hmm.
you guys' favorite lucky number? 13. I don't know if that means we're definitely picking 13 because that's my lucky number, but 13.
Whose lucky number is 13? Oh, yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I couldn't get 22, I would wear 13.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 22.
Because nobody went for 13.
Nobody went for 13.
Yeah.
One thing that we can do that is incredibly scientific. Let's go back to simulate the lottery.
Yes.
Now, Jason, last time we simulated the lottery.
First try, you did it.
First try, did it right in
I've
front
only
of
done
you.
it once, and they were 13.
They were 13. All right.
So you've done it once. You got them at 1.
3, 2, 1. Let's simulate, and they're 13.
13.
Okay. Maybe it's just
Toronto jumped up.
Yeah, Toronto jumped up. Let's see, 3 times, 4 times. Haven't moved from 13. 5, 6. Now odds they do say 9. This is always good to simulate lotteries on the air. 10. They say that by math, right? We should probably have to do this 100 times, right?
I think you're at 15.
15, 16,
18. You're going to get it by 27.
Watch. You think 27?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's going to be 32. We're at what? 21?
We went backwards.
Down. We went down.
24.
That didn't count. 25. We're still at 13, 26.
There's mine. 27.
27. 28. I said 31, 28, 29, 30. It should be right here, Jason. And nope. 31. Okay, 31.
Wow.
So the odds aren't great. And when you look at the mock drafts, they're really all over the place. We'll get into this obviously next week with y'all. We'll go because here's the thing, dude. The mock drafts really are
43rd, and it was number 1, not only top 4.
Atta Billy! Followed by Memphis, Toronto, and Washington. You know
how great would that be? Like, you and I are the representatives, and we're the only ones like, nope, try again.
I will tell you this much. I have never not gotten the number 1 pick when I have been the representative.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know who's representing us.
Generally it's going to be Vivek or a family member of his. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I still didn't why hasn't Sign Lady ever represented us? Or did she?
No, I don't believe so.
Can we that another thing, by the way, if I owned the team, I would go to the first, I would be the guy at first, right? And then I would let my kids do it at some point once. And then unless they or me got the number 1 pick, that would be it. And for the rest of it, it would be a fan. Every year we'd have a contest, and and none of the teams do this, I don't think. Every year there should be a contest, and then we have one lucky fan gets an all expenses paid trip to New York, and hotel and a gift card and bloody blue, and you get to represent Sacramento or your team at the lottery. Like, why not?
We had the fan the one time.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. We did?
Yeah.
Well, how'd they do?
We did in advance, yeah.
Who did we end up drafting?
I don't remember.
Well, that's important.
That would have been in the lean years, that's for sure.
We've told you this. Get ready. We have Nikola Jokic, and now we have who's slated to go number 3 to Charlotte, Nikola Topic, or probably Topich. As of right now, the Kings are slated to draft, if they pick 13th, according to Tankathon, Jacoby Walter, shooting guard, Baylor. I don't like that pick, Jason.
And give me a full breakdown of why.
You know why? Only one Kobe. That's what I say. Now and forever. Yeah, I don't have any idea, but there's going to be all kinds of that. And like I said, we're going to have some fun with the mocks next week because they're just everyone has. I mean, we're talking like ESPNs and Ringers, like major mock draft places, and so many of them have just different people even going number 1. This is such a weird stinking
If they
draft.
do get the number 1 pick, they could draft a player named Zachary, who spells his name Zaccharie.
Are we sure it's not Zachariah? Isn't he? Isn't that Riso-Cher or whatever? Zachary Riso-Cher. What's his last name?
Oh,
have it in front of you?
Risa Cher.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Kyle looked at me like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, it's right there.
No, I
You're
see it,
staring
but I
at
didn't
it.
know how to pronounce it.
You put yourself out there like I did. We're taking a guess. Seems French. Riso-Cher seems French.
Risa Cher.
Riso-Cher. Everything sounds great.
Yes.
But his first name is definitely Zachary.
Are you sure?
That's how it's spelled
I'm
phonetically.
just saying.
But there's something about, the Kings have moved up recently the last couple times. Not last couple times, but with Keegan, right?
Yes.
And it feels like a reward if you just move up in the lottery. Now, the odds are so bad, but...
Didn't they move up in, 2018?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marvin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess we'll take a break. Oh, wait, is this a break or just a quick break for a read? Just a quick read. Okay, so we're going to pause, and we're going to look at some interesting things that could happen, though, in the lottery, along with other teams. And again, there's a good chance this team doesn't even use this pick, talking about the Kings as well. So we'll take a quick break. Really just going to pause because, Jason, you have a quick word from our good friends that can get you out of a little trouble.
Yeah, if you're in trouble, hopefully you're never in trouble, but maybe you have had trouble before in the past. Maybe it's a time in your life, something you may regret, something that's holding you back personally, maybe professionally, a mistake that you made years ago. You were young, but that mistake may be still following you. So how would you like that to be removed from your record? A clean start, a fresh start? Well, the Gonzalez Law Offices can help you with that amongst many things, but you may need help with something like this. They do expungements. They can help you get that fresh start that you're looking for. Jonathan Gonzalez and his law offices right in the heart of downtown. And what he wants to do is be here for you. He cares about you, cares about the community. He's local. He's been here, raising his family here. And he's not just rushing through these cases and on to the next. He wants to make sure everything works out for you and certainly for his name as well. So the point is, you want someone you can trust, someone that is willing to go to bat for you with whatever the situation you might be in, and you feel like you need someone representing you. So go to saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. That's saclegaldefense.com or 916-304-9187.
So there's some interesting things that could happen on Sunday in the lottery, too. Now, for example, you want to talk about the rich getting richer. The Thunder actually own Houston's pick.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston, let's simulate that lottery there. Houston is going to be picking, it looks like somewhere, the most likely to pick somewhere in the top 10. Okay.
But I mean, this is already a stacked
10 to 12.
team. Yeah.
And then Brooklyn's pick goes to Houston. I'm sorry. Houston top 12, Brooklyn top 10. So you've got Houston kind of all over the place, plus Golden State sending their pick to Portland as well. Wouldn't that be, I mean, talk about interesting, but watch. watch Houston wins the lottery. And now, by the way, do we know? I don't know if that Houston pick's
It's top 4 protected.
It is top 4 protected.
So there's a 94% chance it goes to OKC.
Now Portland has their own pick.
Yep. At 4 overall going in.
Yeah, exactly. And then Golden State, the last team in there. Yeah. They, by the way, if you're wondering, Sacramento and Golden State both finished 46 and 36. There was a coin toss. Sacramento won, which means they, for free, based on a coin flip, got to move up 1 pick in the draft. That's a big deal. People trade for that. Who needs the number 1 pick the most is a great question.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, it's not the Victor Wembanyama year where there's clearly someone number 1, but the way drafts go, we know, Dave, there's great players in here. Even though it's supposed to be a lesser of a draft, there's going to be someone here, whether it's the first pick, the 10th pick, the second round pick, that's going to come out and shine. That's the way these things work.
The worst team in the NBA last year were the Detroit Pistons.
And they've been here for a while now. They've been in the lottery for, I mean, look, they got the number 1 a few years ago to get Cade Cunningham. They've had Ivy. They've got a lot of lottery picks that are on the roster that just aren't producing.
That's the thing. And they do. They have a, when you look at, remember Cade Cunningham was that was a guy that was super hyped up, and injuries have not helped him. Jalen Duren. Remember they had Marvin Bagley there for a minute. He had the number 2 pick. Jaden Ivey.
They have Wiseman too, right?
Yeah, they have James Wiseman, former number 2 pick. Alsar Thompson, one of the Thompson twins. So it's like they have this young core of high-level picks. Problem is they just haven't. And I don't blame him for example, like Cade Cunningham. How the hell are they supposed to know?
Right.
And by the way, Cade Cunningham's like 12 years old. Geez, he's still incredibly young. Let's not close the door on him. 22, by the way.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of times the thought process might be, oh, well, have a bad year. Like Tank, get into the lottery and bounce right out.
Right.
I'm looking at the active playoff miss streaks right now. The longest active is Charlotte at 8. There they are near the top of the lottery. So they're back in there again. Detroit and San Antonio are at 5 straight years of missing the postseason. They're in the top part of the lottery. There's Portland. Houston's missed 4. Now they're getting closer. But Portland and the Wizards are at 3. They're all in the lottery. Then you got Utah, Chicago, Toronto at 2 years. So, I mean, man, Charlotte's getting up there, though, at 8 straight seasons of missing the playoffs.
I will tell you this. If you're looking at all the teams in the lottery, I think there's a really good argument. Who needs it the most? The Wizards. Because they're just terrible.
Yeah.
You look at their roster.
They're terrible without a lot. Like, what's the piece you would go? At least they've got this player.
Their best player is Kyle Kuzma, probably. Yeah. They have Jordan Poole in that horrific contract. Yeah. Tyus Jones, Marvin Bagley, Corey Kispert.
Yeah, to your point, Dave, like the Pistons, you could go, all right, draft well. You do have Cade Cunningham if he can give you 82 games. There are some things.
You have Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe a Wiseman or somebody, maybe they get one. Oscar Thompson. Yeah, right. They pan out.
And they grow, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, where do these guys come from? Well, years of lottery picks and grooming and working, and here they go.
They're just objectively, I mean, they're really, really horrible like that. I don't know how the GM's still there. That team just sucks.
Well, and the other part about, even if it's considered a bad draft, like I still think if you won the lottery and maybe you don't have the intentions of drafting, but now you're in a position where you can trade.
Yeah.
The Spurs know what they're going forward with. Now, if they won again, maybe they'd use that. We don't want another young player. We want to trade this pick and something else and get an established player. Like that can move some other teams on quicker.
Toronto, at least they got Emmanuel Quickly, Jakob Poeltl,
Scotty
Barnes is the core.
Their pick is crazy because it's top 6 protected, and they're at number 6 right now.
That's crazy.
So it's like a 54.2% chance they keep it.
Who else? Who would it go to?
It would go to the Spurs.
Oh my gosh.
Spurs could get 2 top 7 picks because of the Jakob Poeltl trade.
Wow. Portland, you could make an argument for.
Yeah.
But even Portland, I mean, I don't think there's any argument against Washington. But if we're talking about just, I will say this about Portland. Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons. I love both those players. I like Shaden Sharp. They have Jeremy Grant. They have DeAndre Ayton. They have Malcolm Brogdon. They have Chris Murray. Like, let's just be honest. Robert Williams, the Time Lord.
It doesn't feel horrible.
Right. It doesn't.
But
it is, but it doesn't. Like, you can at least Matisse
better
Thybulle.
than the Wizards.
Yeah, you can look at the Blazers and say, wow, on paper, that's actually not a bad squad. And at worst, you've got pieces there that you can peel off to make it. But Ayton, Thybulle, Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, Scoot Anderson, I'd make an argument that out of all the teams in the top 10, they might have the best on paper team.
Yeah.
Certainly not Washington.
Right. And with a chance to get 2 picks, right? The Warriors pick and then their own. Like, they can do pretty well there.
So, yeah, they're in a really good spot. Memphis is an interesting one because Memphis was 27-55 this year, but we all know they were 27. They were the 2 seed last year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you're dealing with Ja Morant and some major injuries, but again, you go Ja Morant and Marcus Smart in your backcourt. Desmond Bane was fantastic this year. Jaren Jackson Jr. At center. I like the way Gigi Jackson looked this year. Brandon Clark, I'd love for him to be a King. I love the way he plays. I love his IQ. Zaire Williams, that's gonna if they have health next year, they're gonna be a playoff team,
right?
I would think. So yeah, they're and you don't think so?
No, I don't know. I just
yeah.
Whose spot do they take? Because right now, if we're thinking the Kings are going to be, they got to take a spot. Warriors weren't. They got to take a spot.
I don't know if the Warriors will be, dude.
They may not be.
I really don't know that the Warriors will be.
And maybe one of the older teams that did make it, Suns, Lakers, Clippers.
Yeah, they start piecing off.
Maybe. Who knows?
But Memphis would be, for me, and again, there's no clear-cut number one here. But Memphis this would almost be a little bit, not exactly, but it'd be a little bit like when the Spurs got Duncan when Robinson was hurt. Like, the Grizzlies, to me, don't belong. You don't belong in the lottery. Right. Like, you're a fake lottery.
Yeah, like those other teams I just mentioned are there every year. If it's the one bad year, you get in there with a good team, get a lottery pick, and you get even better than those other teams quickly.
Yeah, that's fake.
Yeah,
and then we come down to who's going to win the whole thing. Probably, I'm going to say Utah.
Okay,
I don't know why. I just feel like Utah's going to win. But look, not making the playoffs sucks. I'd rather be in the playoffs if ands or buts don't exist there. However, if there is a bright side to not making the playoffs, it is the excitement of the lottery, the excitement of the draft, all the draft research, going in, and then, summer league. Yeah,
and for Kings fans, that could be over pretty quickly. It's like the 14th pick, Golden State or 13th pick, Sacramento Kings. If they're not there at 13, then they're in the top 4, and that'd be huge.
Yeah.
The odds, like we said, are very, very small.
And again, as we kept saying, I think it's a coin flip as to whether or not the Kings, they used that pick with Rashawn Holmes to trade to Dallas last year. I think it's a coin flip that they even used this pick. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Yeah. Wasn't Halliburton number 13?
Or was it 12? I believe. Yeah.
I still can't believe that happened. Honestly, that's one of the luckier things that's ever happened to the Kings. We don't talk about that enough. We talk about all the bad draft luck. We talk about Luka Doncic. We talk about the Ben McLemores and Thomas Robinsons and God knows whatevers of the world. I don't know why. We never bring up the fact that Tyrese Halliburton fell to number 12. The Kings got him and then traded him for Domantas Sabonis. Whether or not you agree with the trade or not, okay, fine. Then they would have kept Tyrese.
Do you remember where I don't remember where Halliburton, I know it was a perceived a little bit of a fall, but wasn't he
top 3? People were saying they thought the Warriors might grab him at number 2. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, imagine, and again, that's best player available because Tyrese Halliburton on the Warriors might have been a little bit interesting. What year was that? Was that 2022?
That was probably Edwards. And if the Warriors took Wiseman.
It was the COVID draft of 2020 that they did in November.
You look at the players that were taken ahead of him. Devin Vassell from Florida State, Jalen Smith, Denny Avdia, thank you, Obi Toppin, Killian Hayes, Onyeka Okongwu, Isaac Okoro at number 5, another Florida State guy, Patrick Williams at number 4. Yeah, I'm telling you, Florida State guys, no one listens. LaMelo Ball at 3, James Wiseman at 2, Anthony Edwards at 1. And if you're the Warriors, what a position to be in, because obviously, if Steph Curry doesn't exist, they're drafting Halliburton or Ball. I would almost certainly Ball in that position.
Yeah.
But they went for this is what happens. James Wiseman is their Marvin Bagley, and LaMelo Ball or Tyrese Halliburton, that's the Luka Doncic. If you're in the lottery, man, you should draft best player available.
Absolutely, you should.
And just let it all figure itself out.
It out.
And you know what Monty did? Monty drafted a player who played the position that the Kings' best player played. Tyrese Halliburton's a point guard.
Right.
So is De'Aaron Fox. That worked out, even though it didn't work out. You know what they did? They figured it out, and they got value for him. And, of course, Anthony Edwards going number 1. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch, celebrity birthdays, and more as we wind it down. It's a Friday, heading up to Crosstalk, and Friday fun and games